Hello, everybody. Let's get ready to start now. I just want to introduce myself, and just to say, my name's Jaffa. I'm part of the client success team at Arthur Online, um, and we're really proud to introduce Jack here from Billing Better to host our webinar today. Billing Better is a utilities strategy company that essentially easily secures additional revenue for you guys. You can earn revenue with our easy to use connection, and it helps your tenants and yourselves switch utilities a little bit easier. So Jack is going to be speaking today. Over to you, Jack, if you're happy to sort of unmute yourself and get going.
Yeah, no worries at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start by sharing my screen. Just want to check that you can hear me. Are you okay?
Yeah, can hear you all okay. All good.
Great.
So I can't see your screen yet, though.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, I will share it now. Okay, you can see my screen now?
Yes.
Great. Perfect. Okay, let's dive in then. Okay, so yeah, so my name's Jack. I'm the founder and CEO at Billing Better. We've developed a presentation to go through here to explain how we help our clients to manage utilities. There's a few different things that we do in regards to utilities. So we do help tenants switch to different suppliers. We also offer the ability for landlords and agents to offer their properties to tenants with bills included. And we offer tenants the ability to bundle all their bills together as well. So there's a few different things going on, which I'll explain as part of this presentation. At the end of the presentation, what we're going to do is we will email everyone with a link to this presentation and also a link to sign up to a demonstration directly with us if that's what you'd like to do. So firstly, just to cover this part here, so it's copyright notice to just say that the information in this document is strictly private and confidential, and no part of this document may be reproduced in any material form, including photocopying or storing in any medium by electronic means, whether or not transiently or incidentally to some other use of this document without written permission of Arthur Online Limited. Okay, so what we're going to go through here is just an introduction about our company first, the challenges of managing utilities within a property, and then our solution, finishing up with how to actually get started for yourselves. So to give some background about our company, so we're based here in the UK and we help letting agents, landlords and tenants to manage utilities within their properties. So we work with over 400 letting agents, landlords and property managers. And as I touched on at the start, there's a few different ways in which we work with our clients to ultimately make utilities a little bit easier than they can be, because we know probably more than anyone that sometimes dealing with suppliers can be quite tricky. So we've developed something and built technology that ultimately brings utilities up to an easier sort of service to manage for you. So our focus really is about providing a service that benefits all parties. That includes yourself if you're a landlord or a letting agent or a property manager, of course the tenant themselves, and as well the suppliers, to ensure that they have the information they need and everything can run as smoothly as possible. So we've partnered with Arthur Online to enable their clients, yourselves, to use our software to manage the utilities within your properties. So by doing so, you'll receive a couple of kind of key benefits before we go into a little bit more detail. The first is that you'll have one login to our portal where you can notify suppliers of a change in occupancy, submit meter readings, sign tenants up to our packages, and invite tenants themselves to sign up. The next is that you'll be able to earn a monthly recurring revenue from us for any tenants that sign up to our packages, and I'll come on to that shortly. So going into the challenges for tenants, landlords, and letting agents, A lot of these you guys will have come across yourselves, I'm sure. But from our perspective, for a tenant, it can be really difficult for them to actually know who their suppliers are when they move in. If you're a tenant and you move into a property with electricity and gas, you may have two different suppliers there, and it's not always easy to find out who those suppliers are. You'll also obviously have your water supplier and your council tax local authority as well to deal with. So there's potentially sort of four essential suppliers that you would need to contact as a tenant, and it's not always easy to know exactly who they are. Another kind of tricky point really is that as a tenant, sometimes you can be billed for the previous tenant's usage if the supplier hasn't been notified of a change in occupancy. So it's really important that the suppliers know who is responsible for paying the bills of the property to make sure that tenants aren't being charged for previous tenants' usage and unpaid bills potentially. And lastly, it's for a tenant, there's a lot of noise around at the moment, particularly with choosing the best supplier for themselves, whether that's the cheapest, the greenest, the best customer services. There's a lot going on. So we want to try and provide a solution that kind of hits the key points of everything, enables them to go for the very cheapest if they want, but also enables them to bundle all their bills together into one monthly package. For landlords, some of the challenges, and again, I'm sure people on this webinar will be able to give me some more challenges, but for us, a couple of the key points are, although the tenants are legally responsible for paying for the bills, how many landlords are worried whether or not tenants are actually paying and whether they're going to be receiving bills to their home address stating that bills haven't been paid. And how many landlords are receiving incorrect or high bills for their void periods, because we know this is a big problem. We know that landlords are spending a lot of time on the phone to suppliers between tenancies to try to get meter readings and get everything sent through properly. So we think we can really help with that. And then lastly, for property managers and letting agents. So as a property manager or a letting agent, if you're managing a property, you're going to be spending time dealing with letters and phone calls from suppliers. Some agents simply kind of leave this all up to tenants, and that's fine. But some, that they are doing the notifications themselves. They're calling British Gas and E.ON to say, we've got new tenants moving in. Here are your meter readings. They're getting bills in to their office and having to deal with them. And of course, those bills are sometimes not always accurate, which is difficult, and of course time consuming. So what our portal enables both landlords and property managers to do is to have one place to submit a property for a change in occupancy, and also to submit meter readings to ensure that the bills are accurate if there's a void period bill, but also that the suppliers know who to charge at what point. So I'm now going to go into the different solutions that we offer, and I'm going to try to split these into kind of clear segments, because I don't want there to be any confusion around the overlap of what we do. But firstly, we're going to dive into utility notifications. So the way that this works is you inform Billing Better of a change in occupancy, and Billing Better notifies the suppliers of the property and gives the tenants the ability to sign up to one of our packages. So this costs nothing to you, and it actually gives you an opportunity to earn up to £12 per property per month. And to do this, you can either use the Arthur Online webhook that's been created, and information about that is on the Arthur Online website, or you can do that if you'd like to within the Billing Better portal that you can have access to as well. So the way it works is within the portal here, this is a nice example, is you can add a property there in the top right hand corner. And then when you add that property, you're going to have this option to add a new lead. And when you do that, you're going to then be adding your the postcode, the address, the tenancy start and end date, and the number of tenants within the property. Lastly, you're just going to add the tenant's details, and that's it. Once you've added this, you're done. And what now happens is 2 weeks before the tenancy start date, or if it's been submitted within that period, it would start straight away. The tenants are sent an email and a text message inviting them to sign up to one of our services. And we'll come on to what those services are in a second. If the tenant ignores those messages, that's absolutely fine. Well, I say it's fine. It's not ideal, but it's not a problem for us because we'll still notify the existing suppliers of the change in occupancy. So in terms of what happens for the tenant, they will then receive an option to either use our white labeled comparison site where the tenant can find the best deals for all of their bills, from gas and electricity, internet and TV, right through to TV license, water and council tax. And obviously, we know that we can't get a better deal on TV license, water and council tax, but we're currently providing the only comparison website that enables a tenant to do everything from one place. So they can find the cheapest energy supplier, they can find the best internet deal, they can also see exactly who their water supplier is and be able to click through and sign up to an account or create an account with Thames Water, for example. And they can also see who their council tax provider is and get an idea for how much they're going to be paying, and also go through and set up their account with the council tax provider. So we feel like this is, really comprehensive for the tenant, and it gives them that ability, if they want to really kind of find the best deals and get the cheapest, then they can. The other option they have is to set up a bills package with us. So the bills packages are the core Billing Better product, and what this is it enables a tenant to pay one monthly amount for all of their household bills. So as a tenant, I can, within this page here, I can choose my energy, water, TV license, council tax in that bronze package on the left hand side. Within the silver package there, we include an internet package, which you can upgrade if a tenant wants to the fastest available internet. And then the gold package includes the internet and also a Sky TV package. So the idea of this is that I'm a tenant, I'm moving into a property, I know I've got to set up all of my bills. I can use this product to have one point of contact, one monthly payment, and have one login as a tenant to be able to view what's happening with all of my bills. This is the product here that enables you to earn £12 per property per month. So regardless of the package that a tenant takes, that's how much you will earn. And you will earn that for the length of time they use this service. So if they sign a 12-month tenancy and then renew for another 12 months, you keep earning for as long as that continues. So it's really straightforward in terms of the two options for the tenants. I'll just go back a slide here. So we've got the comparison site for them to choose from, or the bills packages. So some FAQs for this. So which suppliers do Billing Better notify? So we'll notify all of, or any gas and electricity company, the water provider, and the council tax local authority. Can I submit meter readings to Billing Better? Yes. So within the partner portal, you're able to go into the property that you've added and then send meter readings through to us, which then go directly on to the relevant supplier. How do I sign up? So once this presentation is sent to you after this, you can actually click on these links here to either create your account with Billing Better, or click on the instructions to connect your Arthur Online account. So if you do that, and if you connect your Arthur Online account, what's really great about this partnership is that once it's connected, you can trigger this utility notifications process without having to do anything further, because Arthur Online will pull in all the information that we need automatically without you having to do anything further than what you'd like to do. So the reason that we're giving you the option to create an account is just so that you can go in and add meter readings and view the supplier details of the property as well. So that's the first product that we offer. What I'm going to do now is go into the second product, but to do that, I want to kind of enable everyone who's watching this to kind of clear their minds of the first product, because it's easy within these scenarios we found to kind of get confused with the different options that we provide. So we've had the utility notifications. The second option here is for a tenant bill package. So we've already discussed what the tenant bill package is, which is the ability for the tenant to set up one monthly payment for all of their bills. And we work with a lot of clients who actually sell this product directly to their tenants. So as a landlord or an agent or a property manager, I can offer this product directly to my tenants, and I can actually sign them up to the package with their permission. And then what that does is it ultimately will guarantee you to earn that £12 per property per month. To do this, you would need to log into the Billing Better portal. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just show you how to create a new order within the Billing Better platform. So this is a test version of what the account looks like, and all you need to do is select add a property, and then add a lead was the option that we spoke about earlier, but this is for submitting a tenant bills bundle. So what we're going to do is we're going to first type in the postcode of the property. We're going to choose the address, and we're going to submit the tenancy dates. We're going to identify whether we are setting this up for a new tenancy or an existing tenancy, because it can be either, and then select the number of tenants within the property. So if we go to, what's quite good here is that we can also select the number of bill payers. So if you're talking to a couple and they want to pay from a joint bank account, then they can do. If you're dealing with lots of students, then this service works really well for students, because they can split their payments in to pay for their individual shares. And so, for example, if you had 5 tenants and you then have 5 bill payers, and they'd each pay for their own share of the bills. So you can select there if it's going to be a student let or not, and add in that information. Then select continue, and to kind of give you some brief information about some of the perks about using this. So every property that signs up gets a free Amazon Prime account for the length of their time using our service, which is obviously something really nice. They also get access to our perks and rewards site, which enables them to get discounts such as 50% off at the cinema, restaurant discounts, shopping discounts. Someone once told me that this discount site is the mothership of shopping. So it is quite good. There's no setup fees for the tenant. So typically, if you're going to set up an internet package, then you're going to be paying anything from £20 to £50 to activate that account and get the install. With us, there's no setup fees, unless, as you can see there, it's a Sky TV package with a 6-month tenancy. So that's the only scenario where a setup fee applies. And then lastly, we're showing council tax prices here based on a Band D price. So as a tenant, once I move in, what we will do is we'll calculate whether it's a Band D or whether it's actually a Band A or B, or whether it's a EF or G, and change that price accordingly. And if it's a single tenant, then we can apply for the single person discount as well. So here you can see that we've got a few different options for the packages, as I mentioned previously on the previous slide. So we've got energy, water, TV license and council tax, Silver includes the internet, and if we want to upgrade to Virgin, which is here the fastest available, then you can, and then you can see here that the price there updates. And then lastly, the gold package. So if you want to upgrade the internet again, you can, or you can leave it. And if you want to upgrade to add more Sky TV channels, then you can as well. So if you want to add Sky Sports or Sky Movies or whatever it is that you'd like to do. So you select that package, and then this is the final step. So if you're signing the tenants up, then you need to tick this box here that confirms that you've got their permission to create this order. Now, when this order is placed, we at Billing Better treat this as an order, and we obviously are under the impression that the tenants have been spoken to about this. So we don't we encourage agents to really kind of make sure that the tenants are happy to sign up to this before they do this. Otherwise, we're going to be texting, emailing them, calling them, faxing them to say that they've signed up to this package and we'd like to progress it. So what happens once you've added these details, and it's simply just the first name, last name, and phone number. You place the order, and I here will get a text message in a second, and that gives me the ability to agree to the terms and conditions and set up my payment. So although you've sent this information through to Billing Better and signed the tenant up, tenant still has to agree to the terms and conditions, and if they want to back out, they can. They're not tied in until they sign up and they've passed the cooling off period. So if I now close this and close this and refresh my page, that order then has appeared there along the top, and that will change the status of that order based on what the tenant is doing. So at the moment, the status is inviting tenants, but as they progress and set up their account, the status of that will eventually change. So that's how to create a tenant package. I'm now going to go back into the slideshow here and go into the FAQs for this. So which bills can be included? Covered that in the demonstration there. So it's gas, electricity, water, council tax, internet, TV, and TV license. Is this GDPR compliant? Yes, because you will have to tick that box to confirm that you've had the permission of the tenant. And then again, how do you sign up? So you'll be able to click there to create an account later on to sign yourself up. So that brings me to the end of the second product that we offer. I'm now going to go into the third, which is bills included. So bills included is a concept that is used by many landlords and letting agents. And we find that with bills included, we typically deal with student letting agents and landlords, and also London landlords. But the concept of bills included is starting to spread quite sort of far and wide, and we are seeing more and more landlords and agents take this up as an opportunity to attract more tenants. So the idea of bills included is that you, the landlord, or you, the agent, will pay Billing Better for the bills within the property. And this then enables you to offer your properties with bills included. We charge £5 per property per month to do this, and you ultimately decide on the price that you're going to charge your property with bills included. So we do have customers who will rent a property out at £1,000 a month, or advertise a property at £1,000 a month, add on a bills package for say £250, and then they will increase the rent to £1,050 to then market that property at £1,300 a month, because they're offering this added convenience of renting with the bills included. So that's an example of what agents and landlords are doing right now to be compliant with the tenancy fee ban, of course. And I can more than happy to provide more information about this afterwards. It's important to note that we kind of feel like the best way to do this is to give tenants two options. So they can either rent as normal, just pay for their rent and deal with the bills themselves, or they can rent with bills included, and you can provide them with that price and that option. And by giving them that option, that's another way in which we're compliant with the tenancy fee ban in this scenario. So how do you create a bills included account? I'm going to come on to now. So bills included is something that will require a bit more of a conversation with whoever wants to sign up to a bills included account. So so we're more than happy to set up phone calls after this to discuss it in more detail. So this is how it would look for you. So if any of you have got 560 properties that you'd like to submit for bills included, please ring me straight after this. This is just a demo example, but to give you an idea for what you would see. So you would see all of your properties here, and then you can see here that we've got this tab on the right hand side for usage. So what we'll be doing is we'll be monitoring your energy usage within the properties, and we can either offer a plan that includes unlimited energy, so you pay one flat rate per month for your energy regardless of how much the tenants are using, or we can look at your portfolio, look at the size of each property, and charge you an amount for how much energy we think the house is going to use. If they're using more than we have allocated, then we can notify the tenants and say, look, you're using too much energy. You need to think about using less. Otherwise, we may have to send you a bill. But likewise, if they use less, then yourselves as the party responsible for the bills will get that money back as a credit whenever that tenancy finishes. So when you click into a property, what you've got here is you've got different information about that property. So along the left hand side here, we've got the address, the tenancy dates, and the tenants. We've got recent invoices for that property. We've then got the bill provider and your ability to download the bill itself, and we're showing here the energy usage within that property. If you want to go in and have a look at what the energy usage is looking like specifically, you can. Note here that we've got this based on actual readings, so we do rely on meter readings for this to be fully accurate. Otherwise, this would be based on estimates. We have the ability to install smart meters in our properties, and where possible, we like to do this because it means that you don't have to take meter readings anymore, and we can be really, really accurate. So yeah, within the portal, you're able to upload meter readings yourself if you want to, as well, if you don't want to have smart meters. And here's an example of what a council tax bill that you'd be able to download from within the portal. So I'm sure if anyone on this webinar is interested in bills included, you'll have more questions than this. But in terms of what bills can be included, so we can include, similarly to the tenant packages, gas, electricity, water, council tax, internet, TV, and TV license. You pay for the bills via a monthly direct debit that goes to Billing Better. We can either set up one payment per property, or we can bill you one amount per month on a chosen date that works for you for all of the bills in all of your properties. We've created some technology that creates a client bank account for each property that signs up to us. So you'd be able to visually see the movement of your money. So if you pay Billing Better £250, you'd be able to go in and see £100 go to the energy supplier, £50 go to the water provider, £40 go to Virgin, for example. And again, how do I sign up? I know I've over-egged that one a little bit, but you can click on that link after this call to go in and do that. Last point here is another product that we have not launched just yet, but are in the process of doing so. And this is a product that enables you to offer your tenants the ability to pay one monthly amount to cover their rent, utilities, and a deposit replacement insurance 100% of that rent goes to yourselves, and the cost to you is just the cost of a reference to enable us to offer the deposit replacement insurance. The same earning opportunity there, and this is coming soon. So if you're interested in this, then we will provide you with more information once we have launched this product. So to get started, I'm going to just show you how to create an account. And to do this, you click on this URL and you go through this process here. So I won't go through the whole thing, but to give you an idea, we've got you add in your name, whether you are a group agent or an independent, and if you're a landlord, you just be independent. You can add your logo if you want to, but if you don't have one, then that's fine. And then you add in your an optional reference number if you're asked to by Offer Online. And then lastly, you can choose a brand color. And the reason we have this is because for every account that we create, we also give you your own branded website or web page that has your logo and your brand color that promotes the tenant bill packages so that they can sign up. So it's quite straightforward to add those details, and then you'll be able to log in and get started. So that is everything in terms of this webinar. I'm not sure if I've done that very quickly or very slowly, but as I said at the start, here's my contact details. Please feel free to send me any questions you've got. We'll be sending out some information to everyone on this webinar with a link to this presentation, but also a link to schedule a demonstration or just a chat with us to find out more information. But that's everything, and I'm going to pass you back now to the Arthur team to finish up.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for that, Jack. That was really interesting. I think everyone who attended this will definitely be able to hopefully use at least one or two of those things that you discussed today, because it seems like it really benefits everyone sort of from all perspectives. So yeah, as Jack mentioned, what we're going to be doing is at the end of this later today or tomorrow morning, you guys will be sent an email with this presentation and then also a knowledge base article that we've created at Arthur to help you actually set up billing better on your account. But in the meantime, if anyone's got any questions, I can actually see Kieran has already came in and asked one question. Do you have access to the Q&A feature, Jack, or not?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've just
awesome.
seen this.
Yeah.
So okay, right. So Kieran, firstly, so yes, we have got this ability for your tenants to sign up mid-tenancy. For them to do that, they simply follow the same route that I showed within the demonstration. The only thing that we have to be aware of if you're signing up mid-tenancy is if the tenants have already got an account with, for example, an internet provider that they're locked in for 12 months, in which case we can't take that over. But normally we can take over gas and electricity, and we can do gas, electric, water, council tax, TV license. So that's definitely doable. I hope that's answered that, but feel free to ask again. Naomi, thanks for the question. So what is the calling off period and minimum term? So there's no minimum term for the tenants to sign up, and the calling off period is 14 days from once they create their account with us. And what I mean by creating an account is for when the tenant has received the text and the tenant has then agreed to the terms and conditions and added their payment details. So it's not from when you submit a lead, it's after that. No problem. Hi Josie. So if we add this to our offer account, will it automatically share our tenant details with you, and can it be used for service accommodation? So yes and yes. So what Arthur have done, which is really great, is they've connected a webhook with our platform, which means that every time you submit a tenancy and you have the tenant's details are on there, that then comes straight through to us as effectively a lead, and then it gives the tenants the ability to choose whether they want to do the comparison site, or whether they want to sign up for a bundle. And service accommodation, yeah, absolutely. So we work with quite a number of service accommodation providers. If you're doing bills included for those properties, then we can effectively manage that for you in the way that I discussed that over the recording earlier. So I hope that's answered that.
Yeah, and Jason, like I sort of alluded to a few minutes ago, I said we'll be sending you across that email, and I'll have the knowledge-based article on how to set that up and how to set up the webhook. Is that you might be a little bit intimidated if you've used the webhook before, but it's actually really easy. Essentially, just copying and pasting a link, and we really help you set everything up, so you shouldn't have any difficulties with it. And if you do, we've obviously always got our live chat, so just come into there, and someone will be able to answer your query.
Thanks, Josie. Okay, so hi. If there are problems with the service being provided during the agreement, broadband HMOs, who will deal with the provider? Okay, so what we do, particularly in HMOs, is when you add a new tenant to that property, we send out a welcome pack to that tenant, and within that welcome pack, it will have the details of the account itself. So it will show this property has Virgin Internet. This is your account number. If you have any problems, then please call this number, who will deal with this directly for you. But we'll also provide them with a contact number for billing better. But ultimately, to save time, they should really be going directly to the provider. And we have 24/7 customer service lines with all of our internet providers, so that the tenants can call at any time. I hope that's answered that, but feel free to add any further questions.
Cool. Have we got any other questions, or? So we've got 2 more.
Okay. So Josie, in terms of giving you details of tenants, so in terms of the lead that's created, we're covered here by GDPR because we are submitting information to the water and council tax providers of that property. So there is a legitimate interest there for us to be able to do that under GDPR. What we do recommend is that you place a line into your tenancy agreements, or a paragraph which we can provide you with, which just explains what you do as part of your process. But because we are completing those notifications, there is a legitimate interest there for us to collect those details and pass them on directly to suppliers. And if the tenants want to opt out of any communication with us, then they can. Yeah, so David, I don't know if you saw in the presentation, but I did you can get Sky TV packages for us for 6 months, and you can, by doing that, that's the only scenario where a tenant would pay a setup fee. So tenants can sign up to Sky packages for the length of their tenancy with us. So if they're there for 12 months, then they can get a 12-month Sky package, or if they're there for 6 months, they can get a 6-month package. If you go directly to Sky, you can only get TV deals for 18 months. So by renting or by taking a package with us, you have the ability to get a more flexible Sky TV package.
Awesome. Have we got any more questions from you guys?
Cheers, David.
Awesome. Okay, so I think that is it for now. Like we said, after this, we'll be sending you an email with all the information in the PowerPoint, and again the article for how to set everything up. I think you guys have all got Jack's information because that was on the PowerPoint. So again, if you want to schedule any sort of demos with him or talk to him further, please go ahead and do that.
Sorry, there's just one more question here. So just sign up to Bulb Energy for a number of HMOs. Yes, so Bulb Bulb are a fantastic energy company, and one of the reasons that we really like them as well is because they actually don't charge any exit fees. So typically, you can move if you want to, unless they've got a specific deal with you. But I would encourage you to reach out to me after this, and we can have a conversation about that. But typically with Bulb, they don't charge any exit fees, so you can move properties over to us. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. But yeah, so yeah, again, I just want to say thank you so much for that, Jack. I think it was really, really useful. I think everyone definitely got a lot from it. We had some really good questions. So yeah, anyone else who has anything to know that they want to know a bit more detail about building better, please get in contact with Jack. And again, just thank you for attending, and thank you, Jack, for hosting.
Great, thank you very much.